For 18 years, I was blind. Then one day, I finally opened my eyes and discovered that the woman sleeping beside me is the reigning Empress herself, the maid whose cheeks I pinch every day, the greatest sword immortal in the world. And it gets worse. Even the old mutt living in my house is a 400,000-year-old primordial beast. The Empress feared I might be used as a pawn by her enemies, so she deployed the most powerful warriors in the land to live around me as ordinary villagers. But she never could have imagined that my blindness is completely voluntary. I sealed my own eyes and my own soul sense by choice. You see, I transmigrated into this novel and awakened the blind sword saint system. As long as my eyes stay sealed, I keep growing stronger. I can even spin the system's reward wheel for top-tier prizes. But back when I first went blind, the adjustment was brutal. I had zero martial arts knowledge and nearly starved to death on the street. Then, just in time, I met a wealthy young lady. She claimed she needed a fake husband to get her family off her back about marriage. A half-starved blind man being offered a free meal and a roof? I said yes before she finished the sentence. And just like that, I stumbled into the sweet life of a kept man. Now, it is the 10th year since I sealed my eyes. My soul sea has been quiet for a long time, until a system chime rings out. Congratulations, player, you have drawn a top-tier reward. Turns out my luck just went through the roof. I have pulled a celestial-grade prize, the Shattering Illusions Sword Heart. In an instant, a terrifying sword intent is born inside me. Just a single careless leak of its power slices a massive crack across the entire sky. My heart nearly stops. No way! One sword strike actually split the heavens. I clamp down on every trace of my aura immediately. I remind myself firmly, I am not invincible yet. Stay low. Stay invisible. My lord, are you alright? My maid Yara bursts through the door in a panic, her clear eyes full of shock and confusion. Please, I am cool, deadly, and absolutely unhinged. What could possibly go wrong? I say, and give her soft cheek a little pinch out of habit. My fingertips meet that familiar, satisfying smoothness. Looking at her flustered face, a random idea strikes me. Yara, do you want to learn the sword? Yara covers her scarlet cheeks with both hands and stammers, Yes, I want to protect my lady and my lord. I clasp my hands behind my back with exaggerated wisdom, my face arranged into a look of deep nostalgia, even though I find the whole thing kind of funny. I clear my throat and start making things up. Once, an old beggar told me my bones were extraordinary, a 1 in a million natural talent for martial arts. He insisted on passing me a sword scripture. He called himself some kind of supreme sword grandmaster. Said something like, without me, the sword world would be lost in eternal night, the sword path through the ages, and so on. I figured he was probably a con man, flipped through a few pages, and used the book to prop up a wobbly table leg. Still, some of the insights on sword cultivation were actually kind of interesting. I will share a bit with you today. At first Yara is only pretending to listen, playing along to humor me. But as I keep talking, drawing on those half-real, half-fabricated insights from the system, her breathing quietly quickens. A rare, crystal-clear light of sudden enlightenment begins to bloom in her eyes. Then, dense sword intent starts swirling around her body, condensing into clusters of swaying red spider lilies. A moment later, she shudders violently, and breaks through her bottleneck on the spot. She steps into the first-rank clarity stage. Yara's mind erupts like a stormy sea. The way she looks at me now is full of awe she has never felt before. She thinks to herself, the Lord is truly unfathomable, a casual lesson, and this is the result. I have no idea that I have just accidentally created a top-tier expert. I stretch lazily and my mind is already drifting to something else. Groceries. I mumble something about needing vegetables and stroll out the gate without a care. This sleepy little village looks completely ordinary. In truth, it is a rebuilt extension of Sky Palace, the beating heart of the Wei Empire. Chancellor Zheng, disguised as the village chief, stands outside, face full of worry, staring up at the massive crack in the sky. He spots me tapping along with my cane, completely unhurried. He immediately swaps his worried expression for a wide, warm smile and greets me. That is when I remember the bone-reading technique the system gave me ages ago. I have never had a chance to test it, and here stands the perfect test subject. The thought barely forms before I act, no hesitation at all. I raise my hand and land a firm slap right onto the Chancellor's face, then start patting and poking around. Chancellor Zheng's forehead, vein bulges so hard it could burst. He stands second only to the Empress herself in this entire empire. Never in his life has anyone groped his face in public. Old man, your destiny is remarkable. Instead of serving at court making your name known across the land, why are you hiding here as a tiny village chief? I push further, grabbing him by the nose. Think about what you have been doing with your life. Have you been working hard all these years? Did you ever get a raise? And I can tell, the energy between your brows is dark. You are about to have a very bloody few days. The general next door, disguised as a coal seller, finally loses it. He doubles over laughing, barely able to breathe. The man who commands the entire imperial court with a word is getting his nose pulled by a blind man. The scene is truly something else. Just then, Empress Medusa arrives in a sweep of red silk. She had just finished hearing Yara's report and curiosity got the better of her. She came to see for herself. By this point I have already drifted over to the vegetable stall. The vendor is Zane, the northern prince currently plotting his rebellion. Hey, do you have any onions? He is still seething over that crack in the sky and his treason plans. Are you blind? Look yourself. He glances up and his face turns black as a burnt pot the moment he sees me. He has fantasized about a future where he overthrows the Empress and claims her for himself. In that fantasy, I am the man who stole everything from him. So he tosses his vegetables aside and is about to rough me up. When I speak up, calm as ever. Hey, that accent is northern, right? Listen, do yourself a favor, get your family out of the north, that place is not safe. He blinks. Why? The northern warlord is about to rebel. His beloved son has already slipped into the capital to stir up chaos from the inside. It will not be long before the whole family gets dragged to the execution grounds. The moment those words land, Zane looks like he has been struck by lightning. His face shifts completely. He is stunned. He has not even made his move yet. How does this blind man know any of this? He stares at me with pure murder in his eyes. How do you know that? I give a mysterious smile and pat his shoulder lightly. A blind man who can read fortunes, is that really so strange? Zane is so furious he almost spits blood. He is about to explode, and then goes dead silent. Because Empress Medusa is walking straight toward them, dressed plainly but radiating absolute authority. What brings you here? I turn, smiling gently toward that familiar presence. My world is dark, but I always know when she is near. Medusa's beautiful eyes hold a half-amused look as they rest on me, and flick to a sweat-drenched Zane beside us. Her voice is casual. Just taking a walk. I happened to hear you mention the northern warlord's plot to rebel. I would love to hear more. In an instant, the whole busy market goes dead silent. The crowd is horrified. This blind man is out of his mind, openly discussing high treason, the kind of talk that gets your head taken off. A wave of sharp inhales ripples through the crowd. I shake my head like it is nothing and speak with total confidence like I'm talking about the weather. This is not gossip. 3 years ago, when Her Majesty took the throne, the northern warlord was already secretly stockpiling soldiers. He has been expanding his territory and recruiting mercenaries and killers by the hundreds. His ambitions have never been subtle, and now his own son has personally led a squad of elite assassins into the capital. The moment chaos breaks out inside the city, 1 million northern soldiers will march straight for the capital. Silence falls so complete you could hear a pin drop. Zane has gone completely numb. Fear drowns out every other feeling. He cannot believe it. Does this blind man have full map vision? A plan years in the making. Airtight, he thought. And this man just laid it all out like morning small talk. Do you have proof? Medusa's voice turns serious. Beneath it is a cold edge that most would miss. I immediately strike a heroic pose and declare loudly, in the interest of keeping this village peaceful, I will read the fates right here and now. I press my fingers together in an elaborate fortune-telling gesture, then announce with absolute certainty, Zane's assassins are hiding in the Chancellor's estate at this very moment, and they are about to make it run red with blood. Nearby, Chancellor Zheng, still playing the village chief, goes pale as ash, cursing inwardly. Does this blind man's mouth have some divine blessing on it? How is he right again? Empress Medusa gives a single look. The Imperial Guard commander, disguised as a wine seller, vanishes on the spot. Moments later, a confidential report comes back, confirmed. Hidden assassins have been pulled from the Chancellor's estate. Zane's mind completely shatters. Every defense he had crumbles. His spiritual power is sealed by the Imperial Guards and he is dragged away like a limp fish. As they haul him off, the look he gives me is pure venom. He looks like he wants to eat me alive. I, meanwhile, am glowing with the warm joy of doing my good deed for the day. I even call after his retreating figure, hey, listen to me. Get your family somewhere safe. Running into me today, that was your lucky break. Those words send Zane into such a rage that he spits a mouthful of blood and passes out cold. The next day, I am lounging in my bamboo chair, enjoying the breeze, when the system chimes in my ear. Fated protagonist Zane has been successfully suppressed. 600 fate points deducted from his total. Rewards granted, 1 heaven tier spirit herb, soul-devouring blossom, and 200 pounds of celestial-grade dog chow. With a single thought, the rare heaven-tier spirit herb appears in my hand. It can cure the Empress of a chronic cold illness she has suffered for years. But I think about it, and decide not to give it to her. Not yet. She is still basically a stranger to me. My wife comes first, and my lady is just an ordinary woman, but if she takes this herb, it could add 100 years to her life. I pull off the petals and grind them down, drop everything into the soul-refining cauldron, and brew it into a bowl of porridge that looks plain but hums with hidden spiritual energy. Husband, did you miss me already after just a moment apart? The courtyard gate pushes open softly. Medusa steps in with a gentle smile. Today she wears plain everyday clothes, but nothing can hide that imperial grace. I sensed her coming already. A smile rises naturally to my face. I lift the warm bowl of porridge and walk toward her. Here, I say lightly. Have some porridge, you look tired. Morning light falls softly across our little courtyard. The scene is so ordinary, just 2 people, like any other couple, and yet it radiates a warmth that tugs at something deep. Medusa pauses. As the Empress who holds the power of life and death, she has long grown used to scheming courts and icy calculation. But now, looking at the unguarded smile on this blind husband's face, something inside her chest takes a quiet, unexpected hit. Ripples spread. She says nothing. She quietly takes the bowl, lowers her head, and drinks a sip. Then those cool eyes fly wide open. Disbelief crosses her face. That taste. It is the soul-devouring blossom. The divine herb she has spent years searching for without success has been quietly dissolved into a plain bowl of porridge, and handed to her, just like that, without a word of ceremony. A gentle warmth floods through her entire body with each swallow. The cold illness that has tormented her for years, the one that stumped every imperial physician, dissolves in moments. I reach into my pocket, pull out a handkerchief without thinking, and gently wipe a small drop of porridge from the corner of her mouth. In that instant, her mind goes completely blank. Every strategy for managing her ministers, every bit of imperial authority and dignity she carries, it all crumbles before something this simple and gentle. She stares at me, pulled by some invisible force to speak. The Kai family has served the court for generations. If I were to ask you to serve Her Majesty, would you be willing? No. My refusal is instant and clean. Medusa's eyes narrow. A flash of irritation crosses her face. Am I some kind of monster? How can he reject me so easily? She sets the bowl down on the stone table beside her with a quiet clink. She moves as if to leave. I still have not figured out why her mood changed so fast, when a sharp, piercing voice cuts through the entire village. By imperial decree, Kai is summoned to meet His Majesty. I bolt upright from my bamboo chair. Wait, the Emperor? Could it be that my fortune-telling at the market reached the Empress's ears that quickly? Has she come in person to recruit me? Yara bursts into the courtyard, face flushed red, gasping for breath. She pitches her voice dramatically and throws herself into the performance. My lord, His Majesty is here, please come out. She drags me to the door. Before I can even fumble my way into a kneel, a steady hand catches me. There, atop a jade palanquin, pearl curtains and an imperial crown sway gently in the breeze. Medusa reclines lazily on the jade throne, a small curve at the corner of her lips. She looks down at me with those composed eyes and speaks in a teasing tone. No need for formalities. I have come specifically to invite you to serve at court. I am honored by your Majesty's kindness, but this humble commoner has little talent. I fear I would fall short of any official post. Medusa does not look the least bit annoyed. She simply glances at Yara beside her. Yara immediately understands. She steps forward, leans close, and whispers, My lord, please stop being stubborn. When Her Majesty comes to your door in person, she is not leaving without you. And my lady has already gone ahead to the capital. She will not be back for a while. Don't you want to see her sooner? Hearing that my lady has gone to the capital, I think it over for a long moment, then let out a slow sigh. Very well. This humble commoner is willing to serve your Majesty. Medusa thinks to herself, I knew I could not handle you with gentleness alone. The more you resist, the more interesting this becomes. The next day, in the Golden Throne Hall, the Empress sits high upon the Dragon Throne. Her voice is cool and decisive as she announces, My dear Minister Kai is a man of exceptional talent. I hereby appoint him Vice Minister of Rights. Does anyone object? The entire court exchanges glances. For a moment no one speaks. Then Duke Hector of the Western Liang snorts and says with disdain, Your Majesty, a man of no standing, a blind man from the wilderness, has no business sitting in a position of power. I cannot see his smug face, but I feel every bit of that contempt hitting me like a wave. Mock me, will you? You just kicked a hornet's nest. I smile coldly on the inside while quickly scanning my mental list of the Wei Empire's future villains. I need to make a statement, and you are first on the list. I cut him off mid-sentence. Duke Hector, I begin calmly. In order to break through his cultivation bottleneck, he resorted to a forbidden dark art, poisoning 100,000 innocent lives as a ritual sacrifice. An act of pure evil, utterly without humanity. I happen to know a demon-reveal curse that will force this man to show his true face. Before anyone can react, I recite a string of cryptic incantations off the top of my head. The Duke, who stood polished and composed just seconds ago, suddenly contorts, his face twisting into something monstrous. From beneath his skin come faint, anguished wails, the cries of countless wronged souls straining to break free. Death by 1,000 cuts. The Empress slams her hand on the throne and rises, killing intent flooding the hall. Every minister goes pale with shock. Is this blind man actually an all-knowing oracle? Just then a young civil official mutters under his breath. He believes I must have done my research beforehand, that there is no such thing as reading fate. So I turn calmly in his direction and say, Oh? Then let me take a look at you while I'm at it. If I'm not mistaken, the third-place scholar from 3 years ago earned that title through cheating. Your father, trying to bribe the chief examiner, and wanting to make sure the favor would be remembered, made sure the gift would not be forgotten. He even had your childhood nickname, Little Mudball, engraved on the whip he used as the bribe. Am I wrong? The young official goes ash-white instantly, his knees buckle. He crumples to the floor with a thud and is dragged out by the imperial guards without ceremony. While the hall is still quiet, I give a small cough and stroll with great confidence right up to Chancellor Zheng and start patting around his face. The Chancellor feels that horribly familiar sensation again and wants to die of shame on the spot. Then I turn deadly serious. Chancellor, back in my hometown there is a village chief named Zheng Juzu. His birth date and destiny pattern are identical to yours. I strongly suspect he's a long-lost relative. Chancellor Zheng's face twitches. He thinks of his own disguise and cover identity. With every colleague staring at him strangely, he has no choice but to swallow his dignity and admit, yes, I do have an older brother like that. The court erupts in whispers. Wild rumors about secret children spread instantly. The Chancellor wants to cry but has no tears. A lifetime of spotless reputation, gone in minutes. He looks up at the Empress with sorrowful, betrayed eyes. Medusa waves her hand with a slightly guilty expression. Dismissed. Court is over. I am already plotting my escape back home when the Empress calls after me. My dear Minister, you have no fixed residence in the capital yet. Why not stay in the palace for now? It will make things easier. I find this a little surprising. According to the novel's plot, this Empress has always been known for being cold and aloof. Why is she being so warm toward me? Still, I bow and decline politely. Thank you for your Majesty's generous offer, but my wife is waiting for me at home. If I return too late, she will worry. The Empress lingers on the word wife, and something stirs unexpectedly in her chest. You really love your wife. I take a breath and dig out the cheesiest pickup line from my past life. In this vast and fleeting world, I love only three things: the sun, the moon, and you. The sun for the morning, the moon for the night, and you for every moment in between. Medusa's face goes scarlet. She has never heard anything so direct and raw in her life. Her heart is pounding like crazy. She has no idea what to do with herself. Then she blurts out, I think you said that very well. The words are barely out before she claps both hands over her mouth. Her mind screams disaster. She spins around and flees. I stand there, completely lost, and somehow make my way back to the new house in the capital. The moment I step through the door, a familiar warm scent drifts over me. Babe, why are you out here? Medusa's pretty face is faintly flushed. She murmurs something barely audible. I am in a great mood. I stroll around the spacious new courtyard with my hands behind my back, feeling deeply satisfied. Not bad. Not bad at all. We actually have a place here in the capital now. Then out of nowhere, a scruffy old dog comes charging at me, barking like mad. Get lost! Get lost! Can't you tell the man of the house just came home? I swing a lazy kick to shoo it off and mutter under my breath. The heaven-scorching Qilin, sacred guardian beast of the Wei Empire, rolls across the ground 2.5 times and freezes completely. This divine being, treated like an ordinary guard dog by a blind man. It seethes with indignant fury. A dangerous glint fills its eyes. It crouches, about to lunge. I catch the faintest trace of a threatening aura, and without thinking I release a thread of shattering illusion's sword intent. Every hair on that old mutt's body stands on end. That supreme killing intent nearly sends its soul flying right out of its body. It performs the most dramatic 180 in history and goes gentle in under a second. Its tail starts wagging frantically. It shuffles over and licks me with total devotion. I finally smile with satisfaction. I reach out and ruffle its head. Really now, was that so hard? Why make things difficult for yourself? Yara stands nearby, jaw on the floor. How is a sacred divine beast more of a fawning lapdog than an actual dog? The very next morning, I rush to plant everything the system just gave me all over the courtyard, then pull out the celestial-grade dog chow and pour it into a bowl. Wen Kai, dinner time! The heaven-scorching Qilin is immediately offended. Back in the day, it marched with the founding emperor and swept across the known world. Even now, stripped of most of its power and stuck in dog form, it refuses to stoop to eating common dog food. Wen Kai would sooner starve. But the very next second I shove its head straight into the bowl, the irresistible aroma detonates something inside it. This is no ordinary dog food. This is the legendary primordial chaos marrow, capable of nourishing the very core of a divine beast and worth more than any treasure in existence. It freezes for 1 full second. Then its face goes straight into the bowl, its tail spins like a fan. Oh wow, this actually slaps. Just then the two women step out from inside and stop dead at the sight of the soul-devouring blossom and heaven's harmony herb and black tortoise heartguard vine growing right in their courtyard. Yara rubs her eyes, wondering if she is still dreaming. Medusa's legs nearly give out. She barely stays on her feet. And the most jaw-dropping part, the sacred guardian beast she reveres as a divine protector is chained up with a dog leash. Right now, it is going at a dog bowl like it has not eaten in several lifetimes. The heaven-scorching Qilin is sprawled flat, tongue lolling out, its once mighty face now wearing the most pitiful pleading eyes imaginable. Yara takes one look at the scene and snatches the bowl away, tossing it aside. She pulls a chunk of spirit beast meat radiating visible energy from her storage ring. Your Holiness, you are the sacred guardian of this empire. You cannot eat common feed. This is premium spirit meat, specially raised for you. She moves to undo the leash. But the scruffy old dog shoots a sideways glance at the spirit meat that powerful figures fight over and thinks, that stuff barely fills a tooth gap. Nothing compares to what was in that bowl. Right in front of a stunned Yara, Wang Kai uses its own paw to slip the leash back around its neck, then wiggles over to my feet, tail blurring, throat producing soft whimpering whines. Kai, what on earth did you put in Wang Kai's bowl? Medusa walks down the steps, completely bewildered. She cannot figure it out. A beast carrying the bloodlines of both the Qilin and the dragon. Even in dog form it is anything but ordinary. How has it completely lost all dignity in a single day? Oh, nothing really. I have a lot of experience with dogs back home. Every dog in the village loved me. It probably just likes the look of me. I give the dog's head a practiced, casual rub and grin. Medusa's mouth twitches. She cannot exactly reveal the beast's true identity, so she swallows her confusion and turns to stare at the glowing plants filling the courtyard. She keeps a straight face. I suppose these spirit herbs also just happen to like you? I already have my story ready. I play it completely innocent. Spirit herbs? What spirit herbs? This morning there was a white-bearded old man selling vegetables at the gate. He looked so old and pitiful I bought everything he had and stuck it in the ground. Babe, you are not going to scold me for spending money, are you? Medusa stares at plants that could buy half the capital and feels a headache forming behind her eyes. That was no vegetable seller. That was the god of wealth in disguise. But she has her own secrets too, so she does not push it. After breakfast, Medusa says she has official matters to attend to and hurries off. Yara stays behind, saying she will come with me to receive my assignment. My lord, the court robe the palace sent yesterday, would you like to try it on? Yara pokes her head around the door, arms full, holding an official robe embroidered with a third-rank sea dragon pattern. Meeting a superior calls for a little formality. I may keep a low profile, but appearances still matter. I nod. Yara seems to have fully settled into the maid role. She carefully helps me change. The hands that usually grip a sword are now surprisingly soft and gentle. Her fingertips accidentally brush across my chest, and this woman who is normally as cold and composed as winter ice goes instantly red, jerking her hand back like she touched a live wire. I will handle it myself. I am not used to being waited on. Yara refuses, firmly. For some reason she is unusually insistent today. Even with her face burning as hot as boiling water, she keeps fumbling with my collar. It takes her a full hour before she finally lets go, forehead beaded with sweat. I pick up my cane, run my fingers along the crisp fabric of the robe and smile. Let's go, off to the Chancellor's residence. Walking down the street, gossip fills the air from every direction. Did you hear? The Empress has a new favorite, and he's blind. A third-rank vice minister of rights of all things. If the real imperial consort ever finds out, he will probably tear the roof off.